I'm curious to get your take, by the way. You obviously were on the team with a lot of great Gamecock arms. I mean, most notably, I just talked to Tyler Johnson a couple of days ago, and Clark Schmidt was on that team. And I know Will Crow was too, but he was hurt. But just talk about the competition. I mean, that had to make you better too. I mean, because to earn a spot in that rotation, like you had to be on. I mean, bottom line. I mean, that was, to be. I mean, I would say that every year too. Like to be a weekend starter for the University of South Carolina, you got to be one of the best for sure.
I mean, I'll tell you the story that I told you the other night when we were talking about this. The first day that we had like team practice or team weights, I'm just sitting in there waiting on the workout, and Clark comes up to me. He's like, "Oh, what did they tell you you're gonna do? Like, what's your job?" I was like, "I don't know. Like, I'm here to compete to be a pitcher for the team." He was like, "Yeah, like I got Friday locked up." So, and I forget who he said had Saturday. He looked at me. He goes, "Maybe you'll be on Sunday, or like maybe you'll come out of the bullpen for us." I was just like, I don't know if this dude is trying to like get in my head right now, or if he's just like being serious. Because I just looked at him and I was like, okay, like sweet, I guess. And but I didn't let him know that deep down inside, I was ready to fight him. Like I was like, that there's no chance that you're gonna sit here and tell me where I'm gonna pitch, man. And it was just like he's one of Clark. I mean, Clark's one of the best teammates that I've ever had, and he knows how to motivate people. He knows how to be a good leader, and I really didn't realize it until recently how truly blessed I was to go up and compete against somebody like that every single day. Because if I didn't have people like that to push me, especially in my younger age, like I've always been stubborn and hard headed about literally everything that I do. It's either my way or the highway, and just learning from somebody who had been there before and done that in Clark was incredible because the guy, like I said, he knows how to push people's buttons and get them going, and he did that to me all season. So it was like I feel like that's why we were so great as Friday and Saturday is just because we had each other to drive each other.
For sure. Now, I know you talked a lot about the the Clemson memory is one that sticks out from the 16 season. I think was it Arkansas was your first SEC win ever? Is that right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
because
six and a
they came into our place and they were
yeah
ranked ahead of us.
yeah 6 1/3, 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned. I just really wanted to get your take on what's like a positive memory from that 16 season from SEC play for you because, like you said, that's really when you cut it on was in SEC play.
Yeah, I think I want to say like out of the 128 strikeouts, like 90 something came from SEC play.
Right, right.
I don't think I had very many going before going into it. But no, yeah, I would say that's really where I really turned it on. Arkansas was great, but then I think we followed up with Ole Miss right after that.
Yeah, it was Ole Miss at their place.
I remember I was in the bullpen and my allergies had been killing me. I'm in the bullpen and I literally yacked. Not out of like nervousness or anything. Like I literally couldn't breathe out of my nose. I'm sitting there trying to throw, and it just out of nowhere it just hit me. I go over in the corner, I start yakking, and I did it to where the people that had like the beer garden
Right, right.
could not see me.
It's the last thing you would
That
want.
was the last thing that I wanted. And I'm sitting there. Coach Myers like, "Yo, are you okay? Like, are you good?"
Mm.
I was like, "Yeah, like I'm fine. Relax. Like, leave me alone. Like, I promise you, I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna go pitch. We're gonna win this game. Don't worry." First inning comes around. I gave up two. I gave up 2 runs. He comes out there, talks to me. I think I punched out like, or I think after he came out and talked to me, it was like he said something. That I don't even remember exactly what he said, but he said something that just like stuck with me.
Mm.
And from that moment on, it was like, I'm taking SEC play by the balls, bro. Like I'm about to become the man. But that's just the confidence that one conversation with him had in the top of the first inning at Ole Miss.
Mm. Yeah, I was going to say you had a great game too, dude. Probably, I guess maybe this would have been one of your better ones. Is the game at Vandy, and that's always a big matchup. I mean, I'm looking right now, dude. I did not even realize at the time we were 20 or South Carolina was 24-4 overall, 7-1 in the league, and they were ranked third. Y'all were ranked second, and all you do is go out there and throw 8 innings of 2-hit shutout ball with 11 Ks. I know that one had to feel pretty good. I mean, we all see what Vandy's doing, right? I mean, it's big arm after big arm after big bat after big bat, and you just shoved it up there. You know what? So
yeah. I mean, I think another thing about Clark was the night before he had a rough first inning,
mm,
and then ended up pitching 8 innings after that, just absolutely carving.
mm.
Um, he came over to me after that game and looked at me and said, he just looks at me in my face and he goes, "You got next," or something like that. And I was just like, okay. Like, he's like, just basically that was his way of saying like, don't let what happened to me tonight happen to you tomorrow.
Right.
And so I slept in way later than I normally do, because I just was so like I was so ready for that game.
Mm.
Just so excited. Like I don't know what had gotten over me about that game, but I think it was just because Clark came over to me and said something. But I was sitting there on the after we had left the hotel. This is like 3 or 4. I'm sitting there on the bus. I got my headphones on, sunglasses on. Like I said, it's dark outside. Like I don't. I'm okay. So story about me. So on days that I would pitch, I literally would put on a hoodie, sunglasses, and I would just sit in my locker and listen to music.
Mm.
That was it. And then while everybody else would go out, me and Will or me and Adam, we would sit in there and we would play cornhole against each other while everybody else is out there on the field. Just like just funny stuff. But anyways, so no, going into the Vandy game, I was so ready. And after I had taken my fall on the mound, because there's another there's another embarrassing thing that
I actually you had that on Twitter pinned for a while, right?
yeah, it
Yeah.
was my foot got caught in the turf and I gave it the old boom boom. But after that, it was like, let's go. Like, I just want to dice these guys up.
I was going to say, you were also known as the backflip guy, right? I mean, that was you.
Yeah, that
You
is
didn't do that
true.
on days you pitched, did you?
No, I only did it on Sundays when we were going for sweeps.
Gotcha. Okay. I was about to say that would
Well,
be.
that also somebody was like, I'm tired of doing this because we would shotgun Red Bulls or monsters and just like smash them on people's heads or whatever.
Right.
And somebody was like, anybody got any cool party tricks? I was like, yeah, like I can do a backflip. They're like, there's no way that you can do a backflip. I was like, yeah, watch this. And they're like, okay. They got in the middle, and then everybody went crazy after the first one. So it's just like it kept going and kept going.
Jeez. Known as the backflip guy.
Uh,
I want to jump to a funny story, Braden. That again, we were talking a little bit off air, and I'll give you the floor and let you roll with it. But game at Kentucky, you set again. I talked about at the beginning of the show. You hold the strikeout record, single season strikeout record for a freshman with 128 Ks, which is a lot. That's a lot of strikeouts. But it came in a 6-0 loss at Kentucky, and you started the game, went 7 innings, whatever. You had 10 Ks in that game too. But you guys lose 6-0. Just talk about that night because, again, personally for you, I mean, in the back of your mind, I know you're probably like, this is a great achievement and you're happy about it, but you guys just lost 6-0. I mean, it's hard to, hard to be celebratory in that type of with that type of result.
yeah. I mean, after the game, like I didn't even know that I had actually broken the record.
Right.
Until somebody came up to or all the reporters and stuff were coming up and they're like, Braden, like, how's it feel? You just broke the single season record. Yeah, it's like, guys, seriously? And I like turned and pointed at the scoreboard. I was like, do you not see that we just got our asses handed to us? Like, this is, I don't care about this record. Like, it, it doesn't mean anything. What means something to me is going out there and winning. And we didn't do that today. I turned around and I got on the bus. I was just like, Sorry, I don't really want to talk to you guys right now. I'm pissed.
Jeez, it's so funny because I'm just going down this list. People forget how good that 16 team was.
Oh
Honestly,
yeah.
they do. And I'll ask you on that note because again, I talked to Tyler about it, talked to Will about it, obviously, but guys who were a part of that team, I've been able to talk with a ton of them. Just the fun that team had. And I think it was you that said it probably originally. That's the most fun year of baseball you've ever had. I know Destino's a guy that said that to me a lot. I mean, just talk. What was so special about that group of dudes, you think?
I think it was just everybody was there for everybody. It wasn't like any one person wished any ill on anybody else, and they weren't. It wasn't like anybody was super mad that they weren't playing or they weren't starting or anything like that. It was we're just going out there, and we are picking the next guy up the entire season.
Mhm.
I feel like that's why that team was so close. It was just it was something special to be a part of. That's for sure. I
Yeah,
wish I wish I could have been with them for the next year too. But,
yeah. I was gonna say I want to move into again the postseason. You guys get in the super regionals, and it's so funny because I'm looking again at the schedule. In typical Gamecock baseball fashion, you guys went 2-Q in the SEC tournament. I don't know what we just don't. I don't think South Carolina likes the SEC tournament. We really don't. I don't know. Even the teams that won the back to back, they didn't. I think it was 2-Q basically for them too. I don't know what it is about Hoover, but we're not fans.
no.
But that regional was really interesting because, and you guys, you think about it, you guys had lost 2 games in a row. So, I mean, not really a bad losing streak or anything, but you lose that Friday game to Rhode Island, 5-4. And you come back and you sweep through the rest of it. And I want to ask you about the Duke game, the second game, because you started, but you only went like 3 innings and you didn't even give up a run. What was the deal? Why'd they pull you? Why'd they pull you?
Okay, so in my entire baseball career, I have this problem of like being really aggressive with my lower half. And when I do that, my cleat like rubs my foot. And I had a huge hole in the side of my foot from like pitching. And I think that was the day that I was throwing gas that day, maybe. That was like the best day of my life. I was so mad that I had gotten pulled from that game. Seriously, I swear on my life that was the best my arm had felt all year. Um, I just remember Jonah looking at me from third base and like, yo, chill out. Like first warm up pitch pops up. I think I did it. I think I did it twice because my first warm up pitch that day read 97 on the gun on the old gun, and it was like the gun that you never knew was right or like if it was above 95, it was more true, but if it was like below it, you never knew if it was actually like 95 or whatever. And I think my first warm up pitch was 97 on that. And Jonah was like, dude, chill out. Like you're about to have to pitch an entire game. And then midway through that game or midway through that third inning, I had sliced my foot open. And I was literally like bleeding through my socks and everything. And so they came out there and they're like, are you all right? I was like, yeah. So I threw one more pitch and it just went sailing. And they're like, nah, you're done. They're like, we might need you to come in later on.
Right.